Good evening. This is Tyrone Holmes, the founder and CEO of the MSF Fidelis. We welcome you back to the Trauma Network for Men. We're so glad to be back in your living rooms, or if you're watching us on YouTube or in your car, wherever you may be at. We thank you for joining in with us again. Again, we have with us our brothers, Brother Dwight Whitaker. Good to have you, brother.
Yes, sir.
God bless you, brother. Good to have you. And Brother Josh McCarty. Good to have you, brother. These two of our faithful members here at the organization has been with us for 2 to 3 years. This organization is going on 5 years now, and I think it's very, very important that the Trauma Network is here to help support men and youth that have gone through traumatic events in their lives. And many of us as men, we have not been taught at a young age how to deal with these events because we are trained by society, or society has put us in a box, so-called box, that we're supposed to be strong, we're supposed to handle our business, we're not supposed to cry. But here, we are here to help to reach out to those men or women that you may have men in your life that need an outlet where they can talk to somebody about their problems. Because it always seems as if when a man is pushed up into the corner, the only thing he knows how to do, Brother Josh, is what?
Come out swinging.
That's right. That's all we know is violence. And Brother Dwight can witness to that. About being in gangs and things of that nature. So this is why this network is so very, very important. And we need your support here at MSF, because without your support, we cannot go on to do this. Yes, financially we need your support because we want to do more things in the community, but we want to bring you more topics. We originally decided to go public with this on the network because we felt that in our meetings we kept everything confidential. And even though in this setting we're sharing certain things with you because we think it's important that people know what we're doing within the four walls, that it can help you with your problems, with your family members, men, boys, friends that you may know at your job or in your home that you have been dealing with. That's why it's so important that we're reaching out to you to let you know that we love you and we care, and we don't want you to end up in the graveyard or in jail because of things that have hurt you in the past. You don't have to go through that anymore because we're here to help you. So tonight we're gonna start in on our second half of our broadcast that we started on last week, dealing with men in trauma, how men heal. How men heal. And the first question I want to ask tonight, brothers, is why do you think that we need to concentrate on men issues? And why do you think that's important, Brother Dwight?
Yeah, appreciate it, Tyrone. Okay. I'm just enjoying the broadcast.
Praise God. Praise God.
Being able to be beneficial to others and motivate others, and let everybody know that there are ways and solutions to these problems.
That's right.
We men come together.
That's right.
Again, last time I implemented that, men, we make a bigger impact in our homes, in our community, in our jobs. And the thing is that when we come together and fix our issues, we'll be able to think more clearly, be able to open up to other men and come up with great ideas like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and great other leaders, Barack Obama, that went before us and what they're doing now. They made a greater change and impact in our community for generation to come.
Absolutely.
So focus on male issues. Men as a whole, you'll see a drastic change in our community that if men come together and put down the wall and stop being competitive.
That's right. That's right. You said a very powerful word about being competitive, because we as men, we are very competitive because we're not going to let another man outshine us or try to be better than us. We're going to put up some kind of battle or fight to let that other man know that I ain't no punk. And I'm going to show you that you ain't going to pump me out. Now, if I lose, but you're going to have a fight in your hand. Right or wrong?
Right.
How do you feel about that, Josh? And about why you think it's so important that we as MSF need to address men issues?
Good to be back, Tyrone.
Good to have you, brother Josh.
I like to go with what Dwight said. We need more attention to the men issues because we're out here committing suicide, murders, and all that, because of the issues that lie within our hands.
Absolutely.
That we need to focus more on men issues because men are doing 94% of the crime.
Absolutely.
And like women, they know how to talk. We don't. So we really need to focus on more getting the men out to outreach.
Absolutely.
To open up.
Absolutely. And those are some very key points that both of them brought up. And I was explaining to Brother Josh earlier, and I did talk to Brother Dwight earlier, and we always try to talk to one another at least once or twice a week so we can stay in contact. I think that's very, very important. The only way we as men can heal successfully from any traumatic event in our life, we have to release what's on the inside of us. If we don't release it, then all that stuff just backs up. That's just like, you know, if you ever washed a car before, okay, and you got one of those, I know they got a new hose that I got to get, but I see one at Rose's there, I'm going to get one of those ones that it just, when you turn the hose on, it just expands. But you know, years ago, and I think there's still some to this day, those old hoses, if there's a kink in the line, the water's not going to come through. Same thing with us as men. If we don't release that, we have a kink in our line. And if all the pressure builds up in one spot, if you look at the cartoons, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And what happens after a while? What happens? Boom. There it goes. We explode. And 9 times out of 10, when we explode, it's going to be a violence against somebody else, a family member, or a girlfriend, or our wife, or we're going to go out and commit a crime.
We're explode in all different directions.
Absolutely right. That's why it's so very important to all y'all that's listening. It's so important that we got to start getting these men to talk, or getting them into a situation. And Brother Dwight and Brother Josh talked about this last week. We talked in our conversation that we need to concentrate and support men groups out here that are doing very positive things in our neighborhood, in our communities. Because if we don't, we're going to have more problems on our hand with men committing crimes. And 9 times out of 10, they are young guys that are committing crimes because they don't have a support group behind them, or somebody that believes in them, or somebody that cares about them enough to say, young man, I love you, I care about you, come on, let's sit down, let's talk. What do you feel about that?
I agree with you. The more we focus on the program that's out here in the community, again, you will see a change in this community. Men, we are so phenomenal and we are so skillful about the things that's inside of us. It's just that we're not having the opportunity to use our ability to our full potential.
Absolutely.
Because we've been dragged down by what we went through.
That's right.
And again, when we go through something, we lose hope in ourselves. And sometimes people see the potential in you.
Yes.
And sometimes that's all the individual that may just need someone to believe in you.
Absolutely.
And luckily for me, I had people in my corner when I was going through my trial and tribulation, and when I was going through the streets, I had people who really believed in me. They didn't see me who I was as far as my current situation.
Right.
They see me what I can do as far as on the positive side.
Yes.
And by me having that support, then also we come to join this organization,
Yes.
it was beneficial. It kept me on the right track. It kept me doing something productive. It kept me coming up with more great ideas for the community and focus on the big picture.
Brother Josh?
Yeah, we need to focus more attention on the men and boys, because they're doing negative stuff out here. We need to change it, and we need to find, and for them to reach their potential. Not what the situation, like Brother Dwight said, not the situation they're in now, but the situation that they can come to. So we need to focus on more groups that bring out the positive and not the negative. Because if we're dealing with positive, they'll see like, oh yeah, this brother's doing this, this brother's doing that. And it's more positive than negative.
That's right, absolutely. All right, we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to get into how men heal and deal with some basic statistics tonight and some data, which I think is very important. We do give a lot of information to you, but we also want to have some something to back it up with what we're talking about. So we're going to talk about that very subject tonight, dealing with the data so we can see why we as men fall into these traps of not being able to communicate with one another. Short and long-term outcomes in our lives are similar sometimes, and what I mean by that, let me just break that down a little bit. The short and long-term goals with gender role expectations are sometimes similar to women, but they are different in some ways as well. And what do I mean by that? When we are taught as young boys and young girls, yes, we are all young. Our family loves us as their children. Our mother and father loves us as children. But the difference is they bring us up differently. Right or wrong?
That's right.
And what happens is when we brought up differently in a home environment, yes, our mother loves us and all this, but why do they treat boys differently than they treat girls? And vice versa. You see what I'm saying? And it always seems like the boys are more apt to be more adherent or closer to the mother, and the girls are more closer to the fathers. And why is that, do you feel?
I say I guess because the father will always be hard on the child. More far as the son. The dad will raise the son to be tough.
Yes, yes.
Or if he has, if he lacking in guidance, also, as he was brought up, he would teach his son, hold it in, don't cry, don't express his feelings. Versus the male would be closer to the mother because the mother expresses her feelings.
Yes,
and
that's right.
She will protect.
Yes,
that son
that's right.
against the father, and vice versa.
That's
that
right.
father
Yes.
would protect his girl
Yes.
from the mother,
Yes.
and he would teach that daughter to be open-minded,
Yes.
express your feelings, come to me, baby, you know, and things like that. But he doesn't teach the son that, which he should.
Absolutely.
So if vice versa, the father be closer to the daughter, and the son be closer to the mother.
So what happens? I'm gonna get to you, Brother John. What that does, that creates a double standard in the family.
It does.
Because we should all, as parents, should treat all the children the same way. Because what happens is, as that child gets older, one is going to benefit more from that than the other one. And 9 out of 10, the girl is going to benefit more from the teachings than the son, because if the son is being trained to be hard, to hold everything in, it's going to be very hard for him to express himself. When he's older, he's not going to be able to talk. He's not going to be able to communicate. He's not going to, if he's not in an environment where there's a man, he's not going to be able to know how to hold a job or how to dress like a professional man. All those things will be negative for him. But a girl, on a different way, she's going to be taught how to paint her nails, how to get her hair done, how to dress a certain way. But the guy's not taught that. Brother Josh.
Yeah, I like to say what Brother Dwight said. I'm going to go into it a little deeper.
Okay.
The mother, I looked up to my mother, but like I said, it's another thing to be brought up by your dad and your mother.
Sure.
So I'm gonna hit a point here. Some males don't have a father in their life.
Yes.
And how can the mother teach the younger? Well, of course, the son's going to be attached to the mother anyway.
Absolutely.
Because that's the only parent he has.
Yeah, absolutely.
But see, the mother, she doesn't teach us how to communicate.
Absolutely.
Because she can't. Because she's not a male.
That's right.
So I feel it's very important that we need to focus on that. Bring in, you can't, masculinity is bestowed upon you.
That's right.
A woman can't give you manhood. It has to be by a man or a company of men.
That's right.
It will have to be bestowed upon you. So a woman cannot teach you how to be a man because she doesn't understand how we operate as men.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's very important, very powerful point. And I think what happens is, in life, that handicaps a boy in a certain aspect. It's good because the mother can nurture that young man. She can show him love. She can be tough on that young boy. But still, this as Brother Josh said, she cannot teach that young boy how to be a man because she's not equipped to be a man. She is a woman. And the woman has certain traits within her that she has been given by God to be a nurturer, to be there, to be supportive. Because what the scripture says, and even though we are a Christian-based organization, I'm not here to hammer religion on anybody. You know how I am. Even though I'm a minister, been a minister almost 30 years now. But we are here to love each other. But still, in the context of the Bible, it says that we are here to nurture one another in brotherly love. But the woman was made to be a man's helpmate. And if she's not there, and she's there alone by herself, how can she successfully train that man or that young boy to be a man? And then vice versa. That man can't train that young girl how to be a woman. He's going to have to call his sister or his aunt or somebody that he knows as a woman to help him raise that child. Right or wrong?
Right.
So what happens is, in the context of a family basis, if one of those things are lacking on either side, male or female, we're going to have to get some help to help us to raise those children. If there's no man or vice versa, whatever the situation may be, if we don't have that particular person there in that family, we're going to need some help. And just like us in this setting, if we don't have each other, how can we help one another?
We can't.
We can't. When we first started this organization, I always said we have to learn how to love one another. Where we at? We're not here to condemn you. We're not here to put you down for where you've been and where you are now, but we're here to love you for where you at. Because the scripture says that if we love, if we show love, then we can win love. If I love you, then you're more apt. And I was thinking about this the other day. We cannot with each other if we condemn one another. We can't. I can't say, well, Brother Josh, come here and I treat you like garbage. You ain't gonna appreciate that. You're gonna leave and walk out the door, right? So if we love one another with our heart, then we're able to win over. Because people don't care how much we know, until we show them how much we care about them. And we have to show that to each and every man that we know. And same thing with you out there that's watching us on YouTube. You have to show love without circumstance, regardless of who that person may be. You got to show love. And that's what we try to do here at MSF. And that's why the Trauma Network is here, so we can show you that we love one another. And that's why we talk about these things, because we know it may have not been talked about in your family setting, may not be taught in school or from your father, your mother, but that's why we're here to help one another to do these things. Now, when we get into talking to one another, why don't we, and Brother Josh, he was just talking about this a little while ago, why don't we respond to certain things when we're talking? And Brother Josh said he's really not a camera person, because things have happened in his past, and I know, and I understand that. Why don't we respond, or why don't we as men pull back when it comes to talking, especially to women or any other man? Because usually when we're in a setting and we go to a party or go to anywhere, we always tend to get back in the corner and we check out the place, make sure, see what's going on. Why do we do that?
I'll say that, again, when a man experience trauma, and they're not trained or been helped to get over that trauma, again, it affects your ability and your parts of self-confidence, your motivations, your ambitions, or you just don't know how to talk, period. Like, what should I say? What should I do? But again, that trauma could affect individual to be isolated, or they can isolate themselves in a situation because they don't want to get hurt. Men, I'll say, men can't not handle hurt like a female can.
That's right. That's right.
We'll take things more to heart and hold it, and
that's right.
It's the end of the world.
That's
so
right.
we
That's
as
right.
men, when we go places, we'll sit back, because we being cautious.
Yep.
That thing being triggered. Okay, this happened to me. This happened. Let me take a step back and see what's going on. Let me check out everybody. Let me see where everybody at.
That's what we do.
Again, that's that trauma thing that happened prior in our lifestyle, and it affected us to be sociable with other people.
That's right.
Especially other men.
That's
We got this big old wall up, and we not letting it down for nobody. Not even ourselves, if our life depending on it. We have not been taught.
That's right. That's right. Brother Josh.
Powerful points,
That's
brother.
right.
Brother
That's
Dwight.
right. That's right.
I think for me, if I was to go out to speak with somebody or something like that, I'd be personally, I scope out the environment.
That's a normal man.
I scope out the environment because of some of the things that have happened to me.
Absolutely.
So when I get around a bunch of people, I get really nervous.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's going to happen within that environment. So like Brother Dwight said, we got that barrier right here. And we need to learn how to pew the barrier and be able to talk.
Yes.
So for me, putting up that wall, it helps me, but it hurts me at the same time.
Sure.
Because I can't do what I need to do because I have the wall.
That's right.
I got to break the wall.
That's right.
But it takes me a while. Like our first broadcast, it took me a minute to actually come out and say something. Because we have that wall.
That's right.
And we got to break that wall.
That's right. And I think those are some valid points, brothers, because the only thing we as men have is our pride. That's all we have. And if we don't protect that pride, then we're going to look ignorant, we're going to look stupid, and that's something that we don't want to look. That's why it always, in society, if you look at society, whenever there is a shooting or a killing or something goes on the street, somebody disrespecting somebody else because somebody said something to another guy and he didn't take that nicely, or he didn't know, he said, man, this guy disrespected you, got to do something. And that's why we do that. And I guess you probably can relate to that because that's how we are. Because we feel that he done pumped us all, now we got to get back at him.
Also, I like to say on that point, Brother Tyrone, that a lot of the times they say something to you out of insecurity about themselves.
Absolutely.
Because they may be going through the same problem that you're going through, so they want to take it out on you because they have no other way to let it out except to bring it on you.
Absolutely.
And then when you get back into a corner, we come out swinging.
That's right.
And that's because somebody else has an something that may think it happened to them.
Sure, sure.
So they don't know how to explain it, and they want to inflict the same pain that they had
That's right.
on somebody else because
That's
of their insecurities.